Hello, I am Herb Coach and I'm with the Chicagoland Lionel Railroad Club. And my wife and I, we took a trip to Panama and enjoyed everything that was there for about 10 days. And one of the things that really got to me was the train ride that we had from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean, coast to coast. It's the first coast to coast railway in the Americas. Kind of cool, huh? In any case, I loved the colors of the engine, the design, and here is the Metca designed engine SD40-2 built by Lionel. The Lionel number is 2501110 and the locomotive is 1867. This is my second Panama Canal Railway video. After I published my first video on the EMD F40PH, Pat Heraty of MyJack and Tom Kinna, president of the Panama Canal Railway, contacted me regarding that video. They had a meeting at MyJack and were able to come over to my house to see my layout. It was a good gathering by all. In 1998 to 2025, the Panama Canal Railway was jointly owned by the Kansas City Southern and MyJack Products and leased to the government of Panama. The Panama Canal Railway is primarily dedicated to freight transport. It also has a passenger train between Panama City and Colón that we enjoyed. It was nice going on an ocean-to-ocean trip by train in an hour. The Panama Canal Railway is a 50-mile railway crossing the canal area, connecting the Balboa ports on the Pacific and the Cristobal on the Atlantic, allowing the transport of goods without passing through the canal itself. On the engines, you can see the bright Kansas City Southern color scheme decorating the Panama engines. Number 1867 is the Rod Carew SD40-2 engine, which is one of their two SD40s, which came from the Kansas City Southern Railway. The locomotive numbering scheme begins with 1855, honoring the year in which the original Panama Railroad was completed. The EMD SD40 is a 3,000 horsepower diesel built by EMD from 1972 to 1989. The reliability and versatility of the 3,000 horsepower SD40-2 made it one of the best-selling models in EMD's history and was the standard of the industry for several decades after its introduction. Let's take a look at it. Engine inspection. I like looking at the front of the engine, seeing the big 1867 numbers, super headlights, and then you got the blinky lights on top. On the right side of the engine, you have the engineer. On the left side of the engine, you have the conductor or fireman. I like the nice Panama Canal logo that they have here, and the Kansas City Southern paint scheme really is a nice scheme and works well in the Panama Canal zone. Nice front handrails, nice grab bars to go around the engine, good stairs, windshield wipers, nice and silver. I like the dangling chain here. And then there's a deck that can move forward so that the crew can go from one engine to another. And then there's always the big coupler, which is strong enough to take any load. The stairs that go up to the engine. It's nice to see all the hoses. I like the silver tips that they have also. Let's look at the front of the engine on the conductor side of the engine. And way up front, you can see the coupler. And then on coupler mechanism, the cut bar. And then there's a nice set of stairs going up into this nice big-sized deck, patio almost. Good handrails on the front of the engine. And here's a MyJack logo representing the partner with Kansas City Southern. Nice awning for the conductor fireman. the Panama Canal Railway logo. And Rod Carew is recognized on this engine 1867. And here's a nice handrail which goes along the long hood of this engine. Nice walkway. And then it also goes to a big patio in the back, also recognizing my jack as a partner. And here you have some nice stairs, the nice white handrail. And from the big patio, maintenance can go up the handrails up to the top of the engine. Oh, here you have the air intake, and I like all of these maintenance doors detailed, molded into the engine. Nice ventilation. And the colors just jump out. Kansas City Southern really did a good job with this paint scheme. The trucks have some nice detail. Here's some nice brakes, and you can see how the brake line is connecting these two end brakes. Nice detail. And the same goes for the back trucks. The brakes are really highlighted, and a nice brake line in between the two of them. In between the two trucks is the big fuel tank. You can see the observation window and the fuel filler cover. On the engineer side of the engine, everything is pretty much the same, except there's an observation port here. There's a fuel filler observation window here, and also a fuel filler cap, so I imagine both sides can be used to fill up the engine. Another thing to notice is how they have the shades on the sides molded in for the engineer, and on the other side the conductor or fireman. Let's start from the big deck in front. Got the nice stairs, the handrails, the big patio deck, and we have the sand filler neck here. Good grab rails. I like the blinky lights, the antenna, the shade for the engineer. Good stairs, and you can see a diamond plate embedded in the walkway here. Good handrails. Nice printing. I like how that goes. But here you have the smokestack and some good cooling fans. The big horns. Grab rail in the back. Another sand filler neck. And then the maintenance hooks on top. This appears to be an antenna array. Mighty fine engine. Looking at the back of the engine, you can see the grab rail on top. Nice headlights for going backwards. The 1867 number board. Panama Canal Railway. Some grab rails to go to the top of the engine. Nice color scheme. I really like the Kansas City Southern color scheme. I like the dangling chains. I like the step that can come down to connect two engines together for the crew to go back and forth. The cut bar lever. The hoses with the silver tips. The nice big coupler to take that heavy load. And it's nice to see all the handrail covering the back deck, which is like a patio. You could put lawn chairs up there and enjoy the ride. Let's program this engine. We'll take the cover off of the cooling fans that are in the back. And let's get a close-up view of this. So if we angle it a little bit, we should be able to see the run program, the Bluetooth 4D, and smoke on off. And the 4D is for the 4-digit number that the engine can be assigned to. If it's on Bluetooth, the 4D number is disabled. So to program this engine, we'll put the run program to program, and I'm going to assign it number 67, which reflects the number on the engine. So we'll go engine 67, and then I'll press the set button. So I'll put this back to run, and we're set up for engine 67. Put the lid back on, the hood back on, and we're all set to run. If you want to have smoke that comes out of the smokestack, this is where you put in the smoke fluid. My personal feeling is that a well-tuned diesel engine doesn't have smoke when it's running. It does have smoke when it starts up, but when it's running, it runs without smoke. So I rather run it without smoke and letting everybody know that my engines are well-tuned and efficient for going on their journeys. Let's see if the front coupler works. Like a charm. Checking out the back coupler. Another successful couple opening. This engine comes with 5 bell sounds and 5 horn signals. Let's check them out. Well, that's a nice first one. I like that. And you go through them by pressing the aux 1 button and then the bell. A nice deep sound. And that's back to the one that we started with. I like that one the best. Let's try the horn. Nice horn. So again, what I'm going to do is press the aux 1 button. A different horn. Multi-tuned horn. Another multi. I kind of like that one. Well, I'm going to go back to the one that I just found out about. Yeah, I like that one the best. Well, let's check this engine out for weight. Well, this engine's got some heft to it. 5 pounds, 1.7 ounces. This engine is got some weight. It's got some pulling power. It should be able to pull 20 cars without any problem. Checking the underside of this engine. Let's start in the front with the coupler in front. Nice movement. And then it's got the steps swing in and out. Idler wheel. And then you got power wheels. Got the pickups, the infrared sensor, the nice big bass sounding speaker, power, wheel power, idler, and 2 more pickups. Let's measure the length on this from coupler to coupler, and it is 18 3/8 inches. Measuring from the front to the rear of the engine is 16.5 inches. The pickup rolls are 3.5 inches and 3.5 inches, and a total length of 12.5 inches, well enough to cross any switches. So let's get this engine running. Track power on, engine on. First thing we want to do is refuel. So by pressing the reset button, we can refuel. Well, that seems like enough fuel. And now we want to get the sequence control, so we'll press aux 1 until we get the bell and the horn. That works nice. So we'll move them on out. So with the sequence control, we get horn, bell, and crew talk automatically.
Dispatcher, are we still clear all the way? Over.
Let's watch this train in action.
Yep, all clear ahead. Dispatcher out.
Track crew down on the big hill. We've got a slow to 20 and make some noise as we pass milepost 29.
Track is clear.
Don't forget about those short order that SD40-2.
Dispatcher, am I clear inbound? Over. Copy that. All clear inbound. Out.
We'll put some Maersk Maskey stacks on.
Glad we topped off the sand. These wet rails are making a mess of our schedule.
Maersk has now purchased the Panama Canal Railway. That makes for an interesting future.
Dispatcher, are we still clear all the way? Over. Yep, all clear ahead. Dispatcher out. Dispatcher, train is inbound. Am I clear? Over. Copy that. All clear inbound. Out. Dispatcher, are we clear through the next block? Over. That's affirmative. Your track is clear. Out.
Here are all three of the Panama Canal Railway engines.
Dispatcher, how's the track look? Am I clear? Over. That's affirmative. All clear ahead. Out.
Alright, finally clear to yard limits. Let's gear up to track speed.
Dispatcher, pulling in now. Am I clear inbound? Over. Copy that. All lined up
So let's get this going with the Bluetooth. So we have the Lionel Legacy controller for Bluetooth. Let's see if we can get some engines on here. Oh, look at that. You have the F40PH and the SD40-2. Let's do the SD40-2. So we know it's got a horn. It's got bell. Announcements.
Dispatcher, ready to roll. Can I pull? Over.
Front and rear coupler.
Good to go. Dispatcher out.
A full array of horns. So let's throttle up. We'll go for reverse. Let's give some vocal commands. Forward. Go. Stop.
Stopping the engine.
Reverse.
Going in reverse.
Go.
Going to slow speed.
Stop.
Dispatcher, emergency stop. Copy that. Emergency initiated. Dispatcher, stop short. Over. Good work. Dispatcher out. Dispatcher, we're done for the day. Out.
Well, thank you for watching our CLRC review. This is Herb Coach, over and out. One of the things that really got to me was the train ride that we had from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean, coast to coast. It's the first coast-to-coast railway in the Americas. Kind of cool, huh?